G'day and welcome everybody. Hope you had a lovely long weekend with Australia Day yesterday. Um, just thought I'd give you a recap of all the gear, no idea. Last weekend I competed in my first PRS style competition with the Spectrum Rifle competition out of Millmerran. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I used my Power 1500 in the KRG Bravo chassis, Vortex Crossfire. It's a 4x18. Oh, sorry, 4x16. Correction. As you can see, no bolt, no ammo. I've got the Atlas bipod on here. I went with the Boscopol feet. Most of the competition was not fired using bipod, but for one of the last stages I actually swapped over to the spiked feet. Yeah, I'll tell you more about that later. Anyway, how did it go? I did alright. For my first time shooting that kind of competition, I feel I did alright. I got told by quite a few people I did alright. So, out of 18 shooters, I placed 13th. So, I'm not breaking any records, but I didn't come dead last. So, that's a win in my books. It was definitely a different kettle of fish, but I feel like some of the shooting I had done in the past sort of prepared me for it. Like I said when I did the very first introduction of the possibility of this series, I was a reservist. I did learn to shoot through the army, but nowhere near the sort of stuff you'd need for this. Yeah, it's different. Like I said, different kettle of fish, but I had that sort of slight fundamental, and I actually had the help of the guys around me. They were so happy to help and happy to have another person come in and enjoy the sport. And for that, I'm eternally grateful to all of them. And I hope to one day be in their position, helping another new shooter come into the sport. So, breakdown of a couple of the stages and how I went. So, first stage was shooting from the rooftop. You got to load 10 rounds into your magazine, shoot out at the first target at 300, then next target at 500. Before shooting this competition, the furthest I'd ever taken this rifle was 200, and it was very inaccurate. But that was down to me and the rounds I was using. For this competition, I was actually told to get some of this. It's actually American Gunner, 6.5 Creedmoor American Gunner, 149 ballistic boat tails. They did amazing. They were pretty spot on to where I'd zeroed with the Hornady match. I wouldn't say they're exact spot on, but they're pretty damn close. Anyway, first stage, going from 300 to 500, 300, 500. First shot, impact. This is my first competition, and I open up hitting my first target that I'd never reached with this rifle before. Holy crap, this is achievable for me. Second shot, 500. Never shot that far with a civilian rifle, or in this kind of strictly timed sort of event. Bang. Impact. I'm a god. All I hear behind me is Kieran go, first competition, my ass. And I'm just thinking in my head, don't ruin this, don't ruin this. Go back to 300, bang, impact. Oh my God, I'm in love with this sport. Back to 500, yeah, for the next 7 shots, it was all misses. I believe I got 1 or 2 more, actually. But anyway, I came away from that stage, my head this big. I was floating on cloud 9, but I wanted it to humble me. I didn't want to be that guy who's like, haha, yeah, I'm going to win this now. I'm going to come top 5. Nah, not even close. Not even close. Yeah, the caliber of the shooters that I was there with, top notch. Bloody right up here. These are the guys who go to the actual Australia national comps. So I held my own, but yeah, it was stiff competition. So for bags, I used on that stage, I actually used rear bag as my front bag. The low vis gear rear bag. I think it's the extra large. Can't remember, I'm terrible with remembering this sort of stuff. And I used the Armageddon gear fat bag, available through low vis gear. Hooked it on, rear bag on the end of the roof, bang bang bang, did my stuff. Worked a treat, absolutely worked a treat, love it. But as I saw a few of the other guys, they've got a longer shoulder strap around it, which I thought was actually a pretty good idea. I might try and jerry rig something up between the two Velcro lashes on it, or I'll just keep sticking it through my arm. Also forgot to mention, in that stage you were not allowed to dial, so everything had to be holdover. There was no dialing in that stage. Gotta have a drink break, sorry. It is my birthday, I'm allowed to have one. Anyway, second stage, the laddered wall, I'd call it. 3-stage wall, 3-tiered wall, either side. I struck out, I scratched that whole stage. Don't know why, just couldn't get rounds on. I think the targets were at 385 for that one. But yeah, completely scratched it. After that was one of the stages that I actually really enjoyed, other than that first stage, which was you got 8 rounds loose, put them in a bucket, a little container about 10 meters away. In there was 4 ping pong balls. Each ping pong ball had a number on it, number corresponding to the range of your target that you had to hit. Your rifle was placed down on a mat, as I said, 10 meters away from the basket. What you did was you started on your guts, behind your rifle. They said, shooter ready, go. You got up, you bolted as fast as you could, and you went, grabbed 2 rounds, grabbed a ping pong ball. As you're running back, you shout out your distance. You get on your guts, chamber, bang. I love this one. Can't remember off the top of my head which one I got hits on, but I was just about to engage the 200 stage when the time ran out, unfortunately. But I believe that was the last one I had to engage. And yeah, I loved it. I love that stage. So there's varying stages throughout the day, which if you'd seen my last video, you would have seen it was quite overcast, that event. Unfortunately, the last 2 stages, it started bucketing. quite a few of the shooters actually left because they were afraid they weren't going to be able to get home. So I think that also helped me get to the position that I got to in the scoring, though it wouldn't have helped me that much. So the second last stage was off the tactical tyres, the big old tractor tyres. And that's where I decided to swap in for my basketball spike feet. Now, what happened was not a design flaw for them or anything like that, but just me in a rush to take up a position on a odd angled barricade. So the tyre was up on a 45, so you got your right angle, yeah. So I go up, take position, tyres slanting down like that. Unfortunately, when I've come down, the feet have gone out instead of, oh no, sorry, one went out and one's gone and gripped in. I've then put too much weight on it, and the foot's popped off. But thankfully for me, it was not a problem because the extreme angle of the tyre, the bipod actually sat perfectly placed inside the angle of the tyre. So I didn't actually need bipod feet. I did speak to the guys at basketball about that, and I said to them, like, it wasn't your design flaw or anything like that, it was just me rushing, and they pretty much said, yeah, if it gets to that sort of angle, it will pop out quite easily. So, not a problem. Not a problem. I still highly recommend them. Last stage, was in the pissing down rain, on your guts, hitting targets. Was it 5 targets at 500, and then 5 targets at another, like a small gong about this, 500 meters. Yeah, I never got up to the small. But yeah, it was bucketing by that point. Everyone was soaked. So the other bit of gear that I did bring, and I only wore for one stage, because I kind of didn't want to look like a bit of a dickhead with all the gear and shooting like shit. I took my low vis belt. So what I always run on that is the Sword Accuracy International 10 rounder, and a drop pouch, and my gloves, my meme gloves as I call them, because they got the Velcro lettering on the knuckles. So yeah, I only wore this for one stage because it was actually a stage with 11 round count. So that stage was 5 shots off a 3 stack of milk crates, 5 shots off the root barricade, and then your final shot was off the ground prone at 500. Unfortunately, I never made it to there, but it worked out well because when I cleared, everything just went in the dump pouch. So I think next competition, which is next month, I might just put my ego in check and just wear it, because I believe it will be handy for me. So, in summary, as a lot of people said to me, just get out and try it. Get some bulk ammo, go out, zero your rifle, get acclimatized to that bulk ammo. Make sure you still got enough, and just shoot a comp. You will love it. It doesn't matter if you're coming last. The atmosphere is amazing. You won't regret it. I promise you that. Alright. Alright guys, remember to like, comment and subscribe, because you know, that's a thing now. So I'm actually considering doing a Patreon, only for the pure fact of I want to expand into doing gear review as well, and because I'm a nobody, I don't get offers for gear, so all the gear would have to come out of my own pocket, and that's expensive, and I've got a family and I want to be able to still shoot competition. So yeah, if I do bring it out, I don't know if I will. I'm not really fond on the idea of e-baking, but if I do bring it out, hopefully you go and check it out. I won't pressure anyone into it. Yeah, alright. See you next time. Cheers. Editor man Dave here. Didn't realize how much the gimbal was moving around and how fast it was going, so sorry if you get motion sick easy. I have to turn the speed down on that. Sorry.